Hi, YouTubies! It's me, Zachary Michael. Also, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. You know, it has been fascinating 48 hours on both of my channels on the YouTube. And so hopefully today we can just share some love, have some fun, have a laugh, have a moment, have a situation type of deal. Also, I gotta stop. I gotta stop going to the bathroom while I'm on stream because these people in here time my bathroom visits and then speculate on what it was that I did while in the bathroom. And I mean, I don't really care because everybody poops and pees, but it is kind of like weird. Like to some extent, I still would like that to be a private thing, you know? To some extent, I would still like to have some level of privacy. Okay, so anyways, before we get into today's reaction, I do just want to give a shout out to In the Kitchen with Mama Mel, who did watch. I think I've reacted to her twice, and this was on the video. She commented this on the first video I did reacting to her, where Tyler Oakley was in the chat. And she said, I do give great hugs, Zachary. Sending one your way. You had me rolling with your commentary. Thanks for not being too rough on me today. I for sure just share quick, easy, busy family style food. Nothing hard or earth shattering. And I don't take myself too seriously. I'm just me. I appreciate that you handed me some compliments along with the roasts. Thanks for watching and sharing my videos with your Twitch community. So if y'all could go give some love to Mama Mel, either in response to that comment or just like go watch some of her other videos we don't watch here, and share some love with old Mama Mel. I think she would appreciate that. I think she would. Can we do a poll of Zach piss or poop? No. Also, we did try a new version of the poo poo and the pee pee dancing emotes, and I think we need to, Shay wanted to try changing the shade of the legs first. And I think we need to just go to an outline. So we'll work on that. But I did update it, and you just really can't see a difference, you know? You feel me? You can see it when it pops up on the screen, like below me right here. But you can't necessarily see it if you're on Twitch in dark mode. So there you go. There you go. If you're not on dark mode, it probably doesn't make all that much of a difference, I imagine. So, anyways... Anyways, what we're really here to do today, though, is I was just sharing my anxiety that I've had today with the Twitch chat prior to starting this recording, and then I was just like scanning around the old YouTube recommended, like the frightening thing that is my YouTube recommendations. And this video called Red Lobster but Make It from Dollar Tree came up. And then a lot of people were like, oh my god, I love Dollar Tree dinners, girly. And I do think, now that I think about it, I think I've seen her on TikTok, but I've never watched one of her YouTube videos. So people said they really like her. So that's the energy I'm taking into it today. I just want something feel good. Because I haven't been feeling good. Well, I don't know. I have been and I haven't been, you know? You feel me? So, that's what we're going to watch today. We're just going to watch somebody making some Red Lobster out of things that they bought at the Dollar Tree. It is a 25-minute long video. We'll see if we can't skip around a little bit here and there if it feels relevant. A lot of people, and this is my thing, I think Dollar Tree, a lot of people, sometimes people think like, why are you ragging on Dollar Tree? Why are you ragging on these meals that are convenient for people? That's not my goal. Like, I just think that sometimes people that shop at the Dollar Tree are not like trying to be frugal. And my understanding from what I've seen of her on TikTok and what people in the chat have said is that she actually is genuinely just trying to help people use their resources, especially people that might have like smaller budgets and things like that. And so I love that as a concept. So I'm ready to get to, okay? So if y'all in the chat are ready to get to, then let me know with some 69s, okay? I'm a little bit hoping it's cat food coded. Well, I do have to question, because I think the thumbnail, which you couldn't see, I think the thumbnail suggested that it was surf and turf. And I'm like, I don't know. Well, I don't really like seafood anyways, but I don't know about seafood from the Dollar Tree. That would be my concern. And certainly, I guess if you're just working with the resources you have, you might not be able to get nicer seafood, but then I think I would probably just opt to not get seafood at all, like nobody said you have to eat seafood from the Dollar Tree. There's probably other protein options, but here we are. Here we are. All right, let's just get to. Let me make sure. I don't know how loud she's going to be. I've never watched her, like I said, so if we need to adjust the volume and stuff like that, we can. Let me put her closed captions on. All right, we're good to go.
Need to find some better lighting. Okay, here we go. I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone a little bit here because I am going to take you guys shopping with me at Dollar Tree. We are going to attempt to make a $20 Valentine's Day dinner. The theme is Red Lobster. The theme is surf and turf. I am at a Dollar Tree that I have not shopped at
out of curiosity, how much is food at the actual Red Lobster? I guess she's probably making a meal for two. $20 is probably what I would guess one meal would be at the Red Lobster. I wonder if I can just look up a Red Lobster menu and see. Like, if I was going to get a surf and turf meal, I don't even know where to start, how to find that. If I was going to get a surf and turf meal from the Red Lobster, let's see. Surf and turf favorite, shrimp and 7-ounce sirloin. Order now. Does it say? Oh, I have to enter my zip code? I don't even know if we got Red Lobster in the city. I just want to see a price. Oh, this says, for this surf and turf option I had, it says $30. So $20, even for just one person, would be good, All right, cool.
Many moons, and so I don't know what kind of inventory they have, and that's kind of the fun of it. So as usual, the rules are one Dollar Tree, one day, $20 budget, and the only items I can use from home are oil, salt, and pepper. So let's go into Dollar Tree and see if we can make a $20 Valentine's Day dinner surf and turf theme. Editing Rebecca jumping in here.
I wasn't listening. How much what? She said she's spending $20. I looked up one surf and turf meal at a Red Lobster pending my location, and it was like $30.
Taking you guys shopping with me at Dollar Tree, but when reviewing the clips, I realized that the audio was just not good. There was background noise and then the fans from the fridges, and it was hard to hear me also because I'm awkward and was kind of whispering into the camera. So I'm just going to have to voice over these clips, but at least I can share my thought process as I was shopping. The first thing we have to make are the iconic Cheddar Bay biscuits. And for this, we'll need a packet of cheddar garlic biscuit mix. And
you can get cheddar garlic biscuit mix? That sounds fucking good.
To make the biscuits, we need milk. You can use 2%, whole milk, 1%, whatever milk you want. I went with whole milk because I was trying to make these a little bit richer.
Also, I know that boxed milk is 100% a thing. Like, box shelf stable milk is a thing. But it does kind of weird me out a little bit.
First, I got 2%, but then I found the whole milk kind of just back in a corner somewhere. That's one of my tips for shopping at Dollar Tree is, like, don't be afraid to look behind things. Don't be afraid to move things out of your way. Okay. Sometimes you'll find things just tucked away in the back.
Why is it right? Like, why is it not cold? I don't know. And then this, like, I get shelf stable like oat milk or almond milk. That makes a lot of sense to me. But I don't understand, like, if it's actual like dairy milk, I just don't know. The way they pasteurize it's different. I see. Interesting. You learn something new every day, besties.
I spend a lot of time at Dollar Tree looking for specific items because I'm convinced that if I look hard enough, I will find it. Also, for the Cheddar Bay biscuits, we're going to add some cheese to them to make them a little bit more authentic tasting. This was their last block of cheese, so I got kind of lucky there. And then while I was over here in the fridge section, I did go ahead and grab some margarine because we're going to use that for several items throughout the cooking process. Now, of course, this is a surf and turf dinner, so my next purchase is going to be a frozen ribeye steak for $3.
Wait, that's $3? Wait, that's $3? I didn't know they had a Dollar Tree Plus section in the freezer. I also don't know that I would want to eat that steak. She's gonna have to really sell me on that. She's gonna have to really sell me on that.
Dinner, so my next purchase is gonna be a frozen ribeye steak for $3. Then we're gonna need some seafood.
I also don't buy steak often. Like, how much does a ribeye steak usually go for?
They sell shrimp and they sell salmon. These are both $5 each, so kind of take your pick. I went with salmon just because they had a lot of it and it looked like they only had one bag of shrimp left. Otherwise, there's no real reason for one or the other, just your personal preference. Most of this dinner...
Not $3. A lot more than $3? Okay, like 15. Okay, well then I have to be curious about how they got that particular ribeye steak to only be $3.
Is completely customizable. I went with pasta for a side dish. I was debating between these creamy garlic shells or the Alfredo pasta.
Are a lot of her meals just also like pre-made things? Because like I'm not feeling inspired by the Knorr pasta packets are things I used to make for myself in college. You know, I'm not feeling very inspired by that as a concept.
I did get the creamy garlic shells, but I wish I would have gotten the Alfredo pasta, but that's just spoilers for what's to come. Okay. Same thing with a vegetable, just pick whichever one you want. I went with asparagus because for whatever reason, asparagus just feels like a fancy vegetable to me. Like it matches with a fancy dinner. I know.
I do. You know what? If I was to pick, if you ask me what's a fancy vegetable, I think I would pick asparagus too. What are some other fancy vegetables though? Like, what are other things that you think of when you think of a fancy vegetable? Asparagus is definitely up there. You think Brussels sprouts? I don't think Brussels sprouts. I don't know. Maybe it's just because we eat Brussels sprouts so often. Ooh, a broccolini, a broccoli rabe. Yeah, an artichoke for sure. Can I tell you, Noel has recently been cooking with eggplant a lot, and I realize I do not like the texture of eggplant. It's not for me. It's not for me whatsoever. A tricolored carrot. I do think sometimes fancy restaurants love to put on like a little roasted tricolor carrot. I could see that too. I could see that.
I'm going to need something to season the salmon particularly, and all of these seasoning mixes are really fantastic, so you can pick out any of them. Garlic and herb, lemon pepper, Cajun.
That's also one of my favorite tips. Just pick any seasoning. That is one of my gripes with some of these girlies, because I'm like, I get it. I probably could put any seasoning on my salmon, right? But like, is it the point of you to show me like a good combination? Like I want to hear what you suggest.
Citrus garlic, kind of just make your pick based on what you think you'll enjoy the most. I did get the salt-free garlic and herb seasoning.
Let's go.
For a dessert, I was thinking a warm, fresh-baked chocolate chip cookie skillet topped with ice cream.
Skillet.
I like the chocolate chip cookie dough mix because you don't need eggs to prepare it. And then as far as ice cream, they had these little things at Ben & Jerry's, and I almost got one of those, but I knew I should have gotten one of the bigger tubs of ice cream. These are looking a little rough here, and the only flavor they had was chocolate fudge.
Somebody at that Dollar Tree needs to go wipe down that shelf. I feel like they only look rough because that shelf is so dirty. Like, look at it. Look at how dirty. I think it's making the product look worse.
That's the only thing that would have went with a chocolate chip cookie. I have vanilla.
The point is to show low-income people that they can do nice and realistic things with them and their family. I agree that that's the point. I'm with you. I'm just saying, like, you can still do that and say, like, this particular seasoning pairs really well with salmon. You know? You feel me? Like, that is... Those two concepts are two different things. Like, explaining to people how they can shop and get a nice meal for cheap doesn't have to be mutually exclusive to, like, helping people figure out how to pair their seasonings with salmon. Do you feel me? You know what I'm saying? You got me. Like, actually, I think that would be more helpful to people on a low income budget, because it's like you're helping them make better choices, like informed choices with that money. So, anyways.
Vanilla would have been ideal, but they didn't have any. So that wasn't terribly awkward, but I do have the haul, and my total came out to $19.44. So now that we've got our ingredients, let's get cooking. The first thing we're gonna
somebody said that she's kind of like Christine from Frugal Fit Mom, and her kit. Oops, I didn't mean to go back that far.
It came out to $19.44. So now that we've got
her kitchen is set up in a very similar way to Christine's kitchen. I don't know, just the vibes I'm getting.
Our ingredients, let's get cooking. The first thing we're gonna do is take this cheddar garlic biscuit mix and make it more like Red Lobster cheddar bay biscuits.
Why are you barking, bud? You just need to calm down. You just gotta let me do my job. We'll go outside. We'll have dinner. We'll do all the things, but you just gotta be patient now.
To improve upon the biscuits, I'm going to be adding a few ingredients. It calls for milk. I'm going to be using whole milk, but I'm also going to be adding some extra butter or margarine to them. I'm going to be adding some shredded cheese, and I'm probably going to be adding some more garlic seasoning. So that's kind of the benefit of using the salt-free garlic and herb, is that the biscuit mix, plus we have margarine, plus we have cheese, we have quite a bit of salty ingredients. So being able to add garlic flavor without adding extra salt will probably be a good call on my part.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Like, if she would have started with that to begin with, I'm here for it, bestie. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I can use this for multiple parts of the meal I'm creating. It'll go nicely if I add a little bit of it to these garlic biscuits. I can also use it on the salmon. Stunning. Maybe if she had said that to begin with, I wouldn't have had any feedback whatsoever. Hi, Lisa. I watched your little, if y'all don't know, Lisa from Lisa's Hauls is doing a new series, I think, that she's calling You Never Know. And I think the whole premise is that when you click on it, you never know what she's going to be talking about, which is an interesting concept. Today she was talking about, what was she talking about in that video? She talked about some suggestions people gave her for printing off and developing pictures. And she talked about some future videos she wants to do. It sounds like she's going to do I think somebody had suggested like a day in the life of her and the Hubs. So go check out old Lisa Hauls. She warms my she warms my spirit. I can't lie. I watched that video today because I was like, I need to take my anxiety away, and so let me listen to the calming voice of old Lisa from Lisa Hauls.
I don't know how necessary this step is going to be, but I think that this garlic and herb seasoning mix will do well if we rehydrate it a little bit first. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of that into a glass, along with the half cup of milk that I need to make the biscuit mix.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let that sit and let the seasoning mix rehydrate a bit, but it'll also infuse the milk with those garlicky flavors. Right. Again, I don't know how necessary that is, but it seems like a good idea in theory.
I love it.
So that's what I'm gonna do. Next, I am gonna be
I also, Poa 69, I also wish somebody would rehydrate me, you know what I'm saying?
Eating my cheddar cheese.
Oh!
It's a little on the crumbly.
Wait, did that just go flying? Watch. Ah!
Cheddar cheese.
The little piece went whoop.
It's a little on the crumbly side, so maybe I'll just crumble it.
Why did that please me so much? Why did the little piece of cheese go and fly and please me so thoroughly?
Save myself from having to even wash my cheese grater.
I also kind of feel like we might be able to speed her up a little bit. she's kind of a slow talker, which is not the end of the world, but it could go a little faster for me.
Because as you can see, it looks like maybe...
Oh, that's too fast. That's too fast.
It's been accidentally frozen, which won't have any impact on our biscuits whatsoever, but it just means that we can just kind of crumble it, and that's fine. I'm probably not going to need to add the whole block of cheese. I can save some of it for a future meal, but I feel like that's more than enough cheese for the biscuit mix. I am also thinking that it could benefit from a little bit of extra buttery flavors or a little bit of extra margarine, but I'm going to put mine in the freezer and let it get a little cold. This is about 2 tablespoons of the margarine. I'm just going to set that in the freezer for a few minutes. Now I think we've got a good spread going on. We can start working on our biscuits.
Is there a I guess it does make a difference. I know that from Great British Bake Off that it makes a difference sometimes if the butter's warm, cold, whoever, whatever.
And we can cut in the chilled margarine.
Okay. Look at her.
There's already butter in the biscuit mix. That's why I'm only adding a little bit. I had a comment from somebody one time about this biscuit mix and how there were little hard, dry flakes in it. That's just dehydrated butter. Next, we're going to add...
Come on, science! Come on, facts! She said, I'm here to educate. I'm here to educate you. That's just butter. Nothing hurts like a little bit of butter.
In our crumbled cheese, or grated cheese.
She's here to educate. Yeah, she's here. She's here to educate.
This was probably about 1/3 or 1/4 of a cup, I'd say.
Oh my god, not the educate.
I'm gonna toss that in there, and then
she's here to educate the ignorant.
I feel like it needs, which I'm thinking it could benefit from a little bit more cheese. I have this kind of like little bit here.
I want a Cheddar Bay biscuit so bad. I'm not a seafood girly, but I did one time go. I've been to Red Lobster, I think, just one time. And them Cheddar Bay biscuits, ma'am, they're so good. It's making me hungry. You think that the cheese is crumbly because it's old? She was saying that it was crumbly because it's like, whatchamacallit, frozen a little bit.
And now we can go in with our garlic and herb infused butter.
There's a Red Lobster in Bloomington. In Bloomington, Indiana? Actually, I think I might have gone to that one, too. I went to one in Iowa when my dad was in the hospital in Iowa. That's where he was at. One of my friends came to, drove up to Iowa with me so I could see him. And then we did some shopping and, hung out and stuff a little bit, too. And we went to Red Lobster to eat lunch that day, and that's a very vivid memory in my brain because I think I also ordered chicken or something because I don't do any seafood and I'm also not a steak person. I think I got a chicken sandwich if I remember correctly. My sister used to work at Red Lobster and she would bring home extra Cheddar Bay biscuits. Oh my god, actually also that makes me remember for a short period of time. Y'all know my friend Neil. He was in one video of my main YouTube channel long ago. For a while, he also worked at a Red Lobster and he would bring back extra Cheddar Bay biscuits for us to eat.
Sorry, milk. Garlic and herb infused milk.
Is this movie Neil? Is it movie Neil? What is... Oh, that I don't go see movies with? Yeah, it's the same Neil. The one that just shat on Cats the musical movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Give that a stir.
You can get them DoorDashed without
Red Lobster biscuits are drop biscuits, which is absolutely perfect in this situation. I'm gonna go for about 6 biscuits.
Ooh, them are big biscuits. I'm obsessed. I want them so bad. I could get them DoorDashed without the seafood, but I don't need to DoorDash anything, let's be honest. I don't need Cheddar Bay biscuits.
We can also probably take an extra tablespoon or 2 and stick that in the microwave. And we can add some of our garlic and herb seasoning to it so that we have an herb butter to brush over the top of the biscuits.
She's transforming these biscuits. And by transforming them, she's not really transforming them, but she's making them better. Which looks like I could have used
a little bit more. That's fine, because I have plenty of margarine. I might go in and brush them halfway through cooking.
Because I think a lot of people would just take the package and just make them as is, you know? What if the DoorDasher has soft hands? No, I'm good.
Give them a little extra color.
I'm good.
Then I'm going to be baking these at 400 degrees for 15 minutes or so. I'll just keep an eye on them and I'll let you know how long it takes for the tops to get nice and brown. So here we are after 15 minutes and I feel like those biscuits look fabulous.
I'd eat them.
Wish I had like a little bread basket to put them in.
I want some. She's elevating.
And
yes,
I feel like with how big they got, I could have probably made 8 rather than just
elevated.
6. So the biscuits are kind of like our appetizer because I didn't specifically buy an appetizer, but of course feel free to add like mozzarella sticks or something like that. That would only add an extra $1.25 for the mozzarella sticks and another $1.25 for some dipping sauce for them.
But then that's over $20, girl, and that's not the challenge. I think you're fine because you got this. You already got this. You got a side of pasta. You got steak, and you got whatchamacallit. Salmonella.
Honestly, that would be a really great and easy way to go as far as a Dollar Tree appetizer. I haven't had a Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuit in a very long time. So let's try this and see if it compares as much as I remember.
Also, what's her actual name? I want to be like, let's go, Margaret. Not Margaret. What's the name of a girlie we don't actually know? Let's go, Beth. Let's go, Bethany. Oh, it's Rebecca. Let's go, Rebecca.
I'm not going to tell you that it's identical because it's not. It does taste a little different and I can't really pinpoint. I think it's just because of potentially the flavors in the garlic and herb seasoning. Rather than just a garlic flavor, it's got a couple of other flavors in there as well. Otherwise, I think they're great. They are a fantastic substitute for Red Lobster biscuit. If you've been watching my channel for a little while, then you know I used to buy the Bisquick brand cheese garlic biscuit mix, and then I switched over to Pillsbury cheddar garlic biscuit mix. I still prefer the Bisquick brand. I think it's better. I think that one tastes more Red Lobster-esque than the Pillsbury does. But with the additions that we made to the...
Also, I don't know if it's just because of how it's spread up, but I feel like I can hear like the saliva in her mouth. Is that weird? Her name is Rebecca, she said in the DT. Well, I have a short-term memory, and I already forgot. But thank you, King Poa Poa.
Biscuit mix, I do feel like it's significantly improved. It has a really great flavor and a really great texture. And it might not be identical to Red Lobster. Of course, you get the Cheddar Bay biscuits for free when you go to Red Lobster, but the price of eating at Red Lobster for 2 people can be anywhere from $60 to $90.
True.
Just for
that's true. I just price checked.
Entrees, not even including appetizers and dessert. So it might not be identical, but it is close enough, in my opinion, especially for how cheap this dinner is going to come together.
Work.
I'm also going to go ahead and prep my asparagus because that is going to be roasted in the oven.
And she has asparagus, and she's over here saying you could add mozz sticks. I think we're good. I think we're good. We don't need mozzarella sticks. We got biscuits, we got asparagus, salmon, steak, and a pasta side. I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
2.
She's got that crock pot in the background. I bet she makes some bomb-ass crock pot meals.
I'm just laying it out.
I bet if we go to her channel, there's probably crock pot videos, don't you think? I would guess. Super Bowl party, eating for $21 a week. Day 1 and day 2. Dollar Tree Super Bowl party dips. Walmart $50 meal plan. Trying Polish recipes. Where the... Sure, well, you know what I should just do? Just search crock pot. 4 easy 1-pan skillet dinner. Oh, well, that's not crock pot. A skillet dinner is not crock pot. Most popular... I need a Dollar Tree dedicated dinner. Oh, she used to have some real short videos. 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Oh, here's a crock pot. How to cook and store dried beans. Well, that's not as fun. I guess she doesn't have a lot of crock pot dedicated videos. We should request it. We should request it. All right, keep going.
On a sheet of parchment paper, which we can also brush the asparagus with some melted butter or margarine. You can use oil here if you prefer. I just kind of have this mentality of if I've got it, why not use it? Give the asparagus a nice buttery flavor.
Wait, did she? I might have missed it. Is that the same?
You can also brush the asparagus with some melted butter or margarine. You can use oil here if you prefer. I just kind of have this mentality of if I've got it, why not use it? Give the asparagus a nice buttery flavor. And we can also season it.
That is coated in margarine. Absolutely coated in margarine. But I think, you know what? When it comes to veggies, you mark us well. You mark us well.
some of that garlic and herb seasoning. I thought this would be a really versatile seasoning mix. This is going to take...
I also am curious about using the garlic and herb seasoning on literally every element of the meal, because that's all you're going to taste. There's not going to be any variety to that, you know? I mean, that's very much how I would cook, if we're being honest. But it seems like everything's going to come out tasting all alike.
About 20 minutes or so to roast up, so that's probably about the time it'll take for me to throw together this whole dinner. Now it's time to get started on the surf and turf part of our dinner. Now I have gone ahead.
Thanks for pointing out which part was the surf and which part was the turf, but that ribeye steak looks sussy to me personally.
And thawed both the salmon and the steak. The salmon says, due to the nature of this particular fish, it performs best cooked from frozen, but in the past when I have used this same salmon, I have thawed it no problem. I personally find it cooks better thawed than frozen.
Oh, okay.
And for the $5, you usually get 3 really decent sized salmon fillets. So we've got one big one and 2 kind of small-ish ones. And then this is the 5.5 ounce ribeye. This is packed in bromelain, which is a pineapple based.
Kat, I like that you're pointing out that what she's really doing, she's not elevating the asparagus, she's elevating the margarine with asparagus. That's a great point.
Enzyme, and so that's why the steak is kind of brown in color, because it's essentially packed in acid as it's being tenderized in the package. So drain the steak and then pat it well dry with a kitchen towel.
Wait, so she's saying, she's making excuses for why it's, I talked over her. She was explaining why it's brown? I need to hear the full explanation of why it's the color that it is.
3 really decent sized salmon fillets. So we've got one big one and 2 kind of small-ish ones. And then this is the 5.5 ounce ribeye. This is packed in bromelain, which is a pineapple based enzyme. And so that's why the steak is kind of brown in color, because it's essentially packed in acid as it's being tenderized in the package. So drain the steak and...
I'm sorry, it's still a no for me. The color is so off-putting. It's a no for me. When I was in high school, some guys cooked a steak with orange juice because of the acidity. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It just doesn't look appetizing to me, you know?
And then pat it well dry with a kitchen towel.
I'm sure it's edible. She's gonna eat it and it's gonna be fine.
I'm also just gonna go and cut off this fatty bit because it's already kind of fallen off to begin with, so.
Okay.
Season the steak on both sides.
It looks, actually, when she cut off whatever that was, that little fatty bit, it does look a little bit better now that she's patted it dry and trimmed it a little bit.
Sides with some salt and pepper. And if you want, you can add some of that garlic and herb seasoning, but I'm going to save that for the salmon.
We're going
to keep the steak really simple. Just preheat a skillet over medium.
She put like 2 pinches of salt on that thing.
Medium to medium high. Once the skillet is smoking, we're going to go in with a little bit of oil. You're going to want to use oil for the steak, not butter or margarine.
Why?
Make sure it coats the whole bottom of the skillet.
At least we know this skillet's hot. We usually watch these girlies, put stuff into a cold skillet, a cold pan. I think butter would probably make it taste better, you know?
And then we're going to go in with our steak for about 3 minutes per side.
All right. Well, it is cooked. It's cooking.
Once we've got some nice color on both sides of our steak,
it got real small. It got super small. That's why I'm like, is this a meal for 1 or 2 people?
Remove that and just let it rest. I'm also going to rinse this skillet. I've also dropped the temperature a bit, and now we can go in with a few tablespoons of margarine.
Okay.
And these are our 3 salmon fillets, which I am going to season with some of that garlic and herb seasoning on both sides. And I will say that, again, if you're thawing these like I am, check them for bones, because I did have to pull out a couple of small bones from the fillet.
Were there not still bones in there? I don't eat salmon a lot, but that looks like bones to me. That looks like bones still.
On both sides. And I will say that, again, if you're thawing these like I am, check them for bones, because I did have to pull out a couple of small bones from the fillet.
Oh, that's just the pattern of the fish. Listen, I don't like salmon. I cooked salmon that one time that Amber Lynn did, and I recreated it, and I hated it. and I don't fuck with salmon. I'm sorry. I don't like a lot of seafood, TBH. I wish I did, because like seafood and salmon are such like good, healthy protein options, but it's just not for me. It's just really not for me. I wish I did. I wish I liked it. I wish I did. I'm sorry.
So now I'm going to fry up our salmon fillets in the melted margarine for, again, about 2 to 3 minutes per side. They're pretty thin fillets, so they shouldn't take long to cook.
All right. Honestly, as somebody who doesn't like salmon, these look way more appetizing than that steak did. I will say that. I will say that.
All right, let's check on our salmon fillets. Look at that crust.
Also, sorry if you can hear Judy doing her little grumblings too. She's doing her little, because she knows that the stream's supposed to be over soon.
Those look lovely. I'm gonna go ahead and remove those and set them aside.
Wait, does salmon? This is gonna be ignorant on my behalf. Does salmon not normally turn white? Does it not? Does it not normally turn white?
And then the last thing we need to make is the pasta. I know we have a lot of garlic flavors going on, so feel free to do the Alfredo pasta or cheddar broccoli or any of those. I picked out garlic shells, but we've already got, we've got garlic salmon, we've got garlic rolls, so there's a lot of garlic going on. Into a pot.
It normally stays pink. Okay, good to know. You know what? We'll just bring old Judy up here with us.
I'm going to add 1.5 cups of water, 1/2 cup of milk,
stinky girl,
and 1 tablespoon of margarine. Let that come up to a boil. All right. Simmer down, simmer down, simmer down. So now we're going to go in with our pasta mix.
Now Poe is making the noise. I don't need to
watch her
make this
An ideal situation would be that you have the
mix.
pasta kind of cooking on the back burner while you're doing the steak and the salmon, but I'm not very good at multitasking, especially when I'm trying to film and explain, so I'm just going to do it separately. This is going to...
I don't need to... I made these little packets all the time when I was a college student. Oh my god. Maybe it was Poe making the noise all the time.
Boil, it says, for 11 minutes. Our steak is well rested. I think the best way to divvy up, because it's a pretty small amount of steak, is going to be to slice it. So I'm going to go for some pretty thin cuts.
Poe,
after it's been cooked, so this is probably only a
the Dollar Tree steak. What's wrong?
The Zach 11 feet, the Zach 11 wa, the Zach 11 OMG.
Come here. You won't let me pick him up. He's being so goofy. BR Miller, thanks so much for resubscribing for 3 months. Appreciate it.
About 4 ounces of steak.
She's doing a great job.
But we do have a good bit of salmon, because we have 3 salmon fillets, which kind of makes up for the steak a little bit. There's pretty much no chance of getting a small steak like this to like a medium rare or rare. You're pretty much going to always have a medium or a well done steak with something like this. Just want to forewarn you about that. I think we're just about ready to plate this up. The pasta is cooked, but it does need to sit and kind of thicken for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to give it a chance to do that, and then we'll get everything on the plate. Also, here's what our asparagus is looking like. I probably let that...
That asparagus looks exactly how I want it. I want all my roasted vegetables to be so crispy.
Roast in the oven for 20 minutes or so. I didn't really time it. I just took it out when I thought it looked done enough. So let's start with our pasta. I'll put
she's kind of
some
watery.
on each plate.
She's kind of watery. Some of those packets are like that, though. Sometimes them little packets, I always tried to make them with a little less liquid because I didn't like it. I didn't like it so watery.
It's still kind of thickening up at this point, but I'm kind of ready to try this. I'm very excited about it. The presentation to me is just as important as the recipes themselves.
All right.
So I'm gonna
well, then you better present it in an appetizing way.
Lay down some of our asparagus.
Actually, now that she's laying it down, like parts of it look real crispy and parts of it look not super crispy when it comes to the asparagus.
Just split that between the 2 plates. Now again, we don't have that much steak, but we can split what we do have, a couple of small portions between each. And then we can also go down with our salmon
The salmon
fillet.
actually looks appetizing to me. I know y'all said it's not supposed to be white, but it doesn't look that bad. It looks kind of good.
an extra salmon fillet, which you could split, or
the steak is giving dry, and then on top of that, she didn't really season it. So I don't know that the steak is doing it for me. I think Amber Lynn would like it. Amber Lynn would love it. And I do need to be clear, besides the salmon, I'd probably give all of it a try. And I only wouldn't give the salmon a try because I don't like salmon.
Someone could get 2, which, since this one's a little bigger, I'll put a second one on this plate.
Oh, okay.
And now here's the fun part. We can take some of the sauce from the pasta, because there's a good bit of pasta still in here. You just grab a little bit of that and drizzle it over the salmon.
Interesting.
Make it look like it's got a cream sauce.
Interesting.
Is our Dollar Tree surf and turf dinner. I still have a good bit of pasta left over, so you could probably have seconds of the pasta or pile it up a little bit more. But
it doesn't. It doesn't look bad, but I would say it doesn't look great either. You know, and the cream on the salmon feels like an interesting choice, especially because it's not even a thick cream. So I don't know about that little part, but overall, this is better than some of the things that we watch girlies make that aren't from the Dollar Tree, you know?
I feel like that is a really nice, elegant Valentine's Day dinner for just $20. We still have
pasta isn't thick enough. I agree. I think it's just because she was in too much of a hurry. I think it probably would have thickened up a bit, if she would have just been patient and let it thicken up, you know?
Dessert too. I'm actually really impressed with how this meal turned out, but of course none of that matters if it doesn't actually taste good, so let's give it a taste. We're gonna start with probably the most anticipated, the salmon. Now, I have done an entire video where I talked about the salmon, the shrimp, and the steak from Dollar Tree.
Why isn't salmon supposed to just like be real tender and flake off? Why did it take so much effort to get that that salmon on her fork?
Free to check that out. It is superb. Honestly, for $5, it's really good quality. Let's try it. It's so flaky and tender. It's got a nice, lovely crust on it, and then it pairs.
Was it so flaky and tender? I couldn't tell when you were trying to get a bite on your fork.
Pairs really well with that little bit of cream sauce that we put on top of it. Let's do the steak.
Oh, that bite. Wait, watch the bite.
On top of it.
Watch the bite. Steak. That was a struggle bite.
Gristle.
Not the gristle. I hate the gristle. I hate the gristle. Not the gristle. Ooh, no. No. That's a no for me. That's a no for me. That's an absolute no for me. You missed it? I'll show you one more time. I'll show you
and then it pairs really well with that little bit of cream sauce that we put on top of it. Let's do the steak. A little bit of gristle.
Oh.
Same as last time, I do find the steak to be a little on the chewy side. You gotta chew it quite a bit to kind of get it down. But honestly, this preparation method turned out really great. It's got
steak shouldn't be on the chewy side. Steak doesn't have to be on the chewy side. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Lovely crust on it, just like the salmon. And I am in no way, shape, or form comparing a $3 ribeye steak from Dollar Tree to the quality of like a filet mignon that you would get at Red Lobster. And that is okay. Don't expect it to be Red Lobster quality without a Red Lobster price.
Sure.
This is not a Red Lobster price, but it is still a really good quality. I still think you'll be really happy with it overall.
Sure. No,
it's just like perfectly.
She just struggled again. Watch her. The second bite was also a struggle for her.
Still a really good quality. I still think you'll be really happy with it overall. It's like perfectly seasoned too. I will give it that. And
perfectly seasoned. We saw you put 2 pinches of salt on it. What do you mean?
Cutting the steak also helps a little bit, especially if you pay attention to what direction you're cutting it and try to cut it against the grain, so it's a little bit more tender that way.
No, I see. This is where you lose me. This is where you lose me. If I have to do all of that for a steak, I'd rather just not eat steak. You know, I'd rather just have get some ground beef and make like a hamburger patty or something, you know?
Next up we have the roasted asparagus. These asparagus stalks are so thin that I usually kind of twirl them on my fork like spaghetti.
Okay, then they're definitely not as crisp as I thought they were if she's twirling them on her fork like spaghetti.
You don't have to do asparagus. You can do any vegetable of your choice. I just thought asparagus kind of lends a little bit more to the restaurant quality, but use broccoli, use green beans, whatever vegetable you'll enjoy. Or don't have a vegetable. I'm not going to judge you. And then, of course, we have the garlic pasta, which to me is a little bit more of just a belly filler. And honestly, it kind of pales in comparison to the rest of the dish so far.
Listen, she had me up until her actual review of this food, and she's not doing a good job of selling it. She's like, honestly, we're just having the pasta to fill our bellies. It's not good. It's just a belly filler. Like, what? She should have just plated it and called it a day.
Pairs really well. Like, you could mix the steak and the salmon into it, but everything else has such a rich flavor that the garlic pasta is kind of the least exciting part of this whole meal.
Everything else has a rich flavor.
Beats my Dollar Tree Valentine's Day dinner from last year, where I did a spinach dip, a ravioli lasagna, and then a no-bake cheesecake. I feel like this dinner, for about the same amount of money, is a much better deal and a much better quality. I'm telling you, I definitely was on the fence about the Dollar Tree Plus section, as most of you were, but to be able to buy salmon for $5 is, to me, the best part about it. I could go away with any of the other things that they sell, but I would love to see Dollar Tree integrate more raw, unprocessed meats into their Plus section, rather than like frozen pizzas and ice cream and entrees and things like that. I like the salmon, I like the shrimp. I think it's the best part about the Plus section, and I think that it's the only reason that a dinner like this was possible. I'm gonna work on the dessert, which is gonna be the chocolate chip cookie skillet.
She did do dessert as well. Yeah, she did do dessert.
So you are gonna mix the cookie just according to the package instructions. We're gonna be mixing the cookie dough with a half.
Honestly, we might stop there just because I don't need to see her make prepackaged cookies. I think I'm good, and also because like I need to wrap up. But that was interesting. I'm glad we watched her. I'm glad we watched her. I think it was fun. I enjoyed it. Skip to the end. Oh, you want to see the finished product? She did say she's gonna make a skillet cookie. There's her Cassie iron. She's got the pan. She's making a skillet cookie. She's putting it in the oven. She cooked it. She's adding the ice cream on top, the chocolate fudge swirl ice cream. I mean, it does look good. I don't know that you can go wrong with all of that. I don't know that you can. That's probably all delicious. But I don't need to see all of that in real time. Mostly because I do need to wrap up, if that's okay. If that's all right. But what's her review though, Jordy? I welcome you to go watch it on your own time. If that's okay. What about the biscuit? She did that at the beginning of the video before she did that was her appetizer. Leave her a comment. Oh, what was I gonna say? Loved this video. Could you do more Dollar Tree crock pot recipes? I saw you had one sitting on the counter behind you. There you go. All right, YouTubies! I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was I don't know, like a less heavy video today for you. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope this was something fun and different. And thanks for joining us. Bye, YouTubies! Subscribe!